Hi, I'm Larry Dignan from Constellation Insights, and we're going to do a countdown of 5 things CEOs are talking about when they talk about generative AI. The first thing, we've been doing this for a long time. So the idea here is that CEOs are saying, especially tech CEOs, they're saying they've been doing AI for a long time, and this ChatGPT thing and Bard and all that good stuff is nothing new. This is what we would call generative AI washing. So they throw it out there, they make it sound like they're doing something cool because, well, everybody's asking the question. And then at the end of the day, you got to listen for 2 key things. The first one is when whatever they're announcing comes out in pilot or even launch. And then the second one is the date. So if they're talking about 2024, they have no story. So just keep that in mind. The second thing, and this one comes from the buy side. It comes from CEOs that already invested in RPA and chatbots and all these other things. And what they say is generative AI looks great, but we need more transparency to add this. So this is something that Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan said. They have in their app, they have a thing called Erica, which kind of walks you around through the data, answers support questions about the banking app and your accounts. And what he was really getting at is that the ChatGPT and generative AI and things like that, they pull from a base of data that is third party. It's outside, it's on the web, it's wherever. So what he's saying is in a regulated environment, you got to be a little more careful. So he was a little skeptical about the transparency and the corporate data and the argument he has for the bot he's using now is that it just pulls from Bank of America data. So that's one thing. The transparency thing will matter, as Brian Moynihan said. The third thing people say, or CEOs say all the time, well, they hint at it. They'll never say it, but they're thinking it. This can cut headcount. CEOs will talk about things like, well, we can do more with less. We can hold our staffing tight. We can do more productivity, more coding, more this, more that with fewer people. What they're all saying is generative AI is a way to keep headcount down. No, they won't say that directly, but you just kind of got to listen through the minds, but I'll throw it in there just because, well, that's what they're thinking. Number 4, my customer data is a differentiator. And this came from Airbnb CEO, Brian Chesky. And it was a very interesting take. He was talking about ChatGPT and how they're thinking about integrating it on the Airbnb app. And the thing he was getting at here was we don't need to build the highways. Generative AI is pulling in a lot of data, a lot of good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's our data that matters. So that's all the tuning is going to be spent on the customer data. So these CEOs want to know who you are. They want to know what you're thinking. They want to know your buying habits. All the stuff that matters with all the generative AI is going to be your customers' data and how you can tailor that to the experience. So generative AI is great for 80% of it. Thank you everybody for the computing power and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it's really the CEOs see this as their customer data is going to be the differentiator. And that's where the creativity comes in beyond the bots. The other thing that I'll say for number 5 and the things that CEOs are saying, you can kind of feel it depending on what they're saying, but some of them are really saying, holy crap, or insert your F-bomb, insert whatever you want. And these are the ones who are saying, this is sort of disruptive and I have no AI strategy. I don't have the structure. I don't have the skill set. And I think they're the ones who are really going to be watching this closely. Now, this is sort of like the other one, the headcount. CEOs aren't saying that directly. But if we go back to that earlier one where we're talking about, when they'll launch products, say 2024, 2025, whatever, they're probably saying the holy crap bomb, just because there's no plan, no skill set, no nothing. And we'll see how that plays out over time. So there's your 5 things CEOs are saying. Thanks for joining us.